Sergeant America coming at you. Boom! You can see with no editing. I have to make sure that it's like running and everything.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Yeah,
You
so
nailed it.
Tom, the Highlander Extreme, of course, has visited me here in the Comic Cave.
Oh, I'm so excited to be in the nerd room finally. It's just like, as soon as I stepped in, tingles kind of happened all over my body. And now I feel like I'm almost a superhero standing in this fortress.
Most of those tingles is probably leftover Listerine and Lysol that I spray in here. So remember, the only rule is no number 2s while we're filming.
Okay. I can abide by that.
Yeah. So we decided to hang out in the comic book cave because we were going to talk about lairs. And of course, some of the famous ones we kind of discussed a little beforehand. Batman, the Bat Cave.
Well, I mean, that's got to be the most famous one. You know, right away in the 60s version of Batman. So, you know, the cave was almost like the most exciting part. You lift the red, or the helmet, you have the red thing, you push down, you go where, you know, you go down to the pole, land in the Bat Cave, and then it's only gotten like cooler and cooler and more technical. And like in the new video games, it's like the coolest place. In the Lego Batman games, that's like your menu section is just hanging out in the Bat Cave and you have to go to it, each one. It's a huge part of DC Comics history as well, because you always get the old Robin suits, you get the Penny, you get the Tyrannosaurus Rex, and that's always makes it so much fun.
Yeah. And of course, the questions are, you know, how do you build something like that? Because it would take huge crews, years of work, and to keep it secret. You know, I mean,
it's really simple. Nanobots.
There you go. Or do like the 605 here. Of course, as we know from Riverdale Studios, that's an abandoned missile silo.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I mean, you're pretty good off right now if things go bad because you're already there.
Not even worried about it. We'll still be broadcasting. So check YouTube in the aftermath.
Yeah. Of course, also in South Dakota, we're known because we have the mines out in the far side, the west side of our state, where we use it now for dark matter research.
Yes, and checking out the little tiny cells. What are they called again? Oh my gosh, they used to neutrinos. Talked about. You remember Picard and Data and Geordi always arguing about neutrinos, trying to sound technical back in the old Star Treks. And now we're actually studying these tiny particles that make it all the way through the rocks from the sun, and then it's by the time they get a mile down there in these deep mines, they can study like one tiny particle, and it's supposed to be like going to show us the meaning of life. So other than that, they don't even know why they're studying it, but they're dumping tons of money into it, so there's got to be a reason. But yeah, there's deep mines, and then national treasure. If we were going to have a 605 cave, it would have to be behind Mount Rushmore, so you can jump out the nose, hang down like a little Abraham Lincoln booger. I've always wanted to do that.
Yep. And if you've ever seen South by Southwest, there's also a house up there.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So
I mean, maybe
we're so famous, so great. So not the rest of our state, but otherwise.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and that's 7 hours away from us.
Yeah. So speaking about distances, we were talking about next about the Fortress of Solitude.
Yes, the best place to put it, right, where no one can go. Yep. You have to have like icebreaker ships to try to get to it. Superman, good on you. And really cool that he can, at least in the movie, I don't know the rendition, but he just throws one crystal and the whole goddamn thing just grows naturally. Like, did he will it, or was it ready to do it? I don't know, but he ended up with a badass fortress.
Yeah, I think you explained it right. Nanobots.
The coolest part about the Fortress of Solitude, that key, that's like made up of like an entire universe worth of mass, so no one can lift it but Superman, but he just keeps it right under the rug in front of it. Hilarious. Thank you, Grant Morrison.
Or I'm trying to think of Justice, the series, where it's huge and like only Shazam, I think, was the only other one that could lift it.
That's right.
To move it, so.
Yes, but how about any other ones there? We talked real quick about the shitty Green Arrow.
Oh, yeah.
That should be called the Quiver. He calls it like the Arrow Lodge. Who knows what it is, but they're always making fun of him about it. He's like, once again, like a shitty version of Batman when they give him the cave or his warehouse.
On the TV series, though, it looks pretty nice.
Yeah, and he's got a badass warehouse. That's more like a warehouse.
Yeah.
What are some other really sweet though, like hideouts, or
I was thinking
lairs?
There was from IDW, I think, or Image Comics, called Secret Identities, and that was actually the head of a body of a space alien that had they defeated, and then they found out they could be inside it, and it had all these other things. So
you're living inside an alien?
Yeah.
Damn it! I want that fortress, not Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. But basically, yeah. So let us know where you would live. We would discuss more. But I also have to mention, I'm starting to sweat like a pig because it is so hot in here.
No way! That's just brotherly love.
But I do appreciate Tom visiting. We'll definitely have more guest stars showing up for other lairs as we continue to talk more about the Comic King.